One of the immediate benefits that we receive when we start a practice is that we cease to identify thought and awareness. So as soon as we start sitting, it seems to me that we're within this space of awareness. So our mind, our body, our environment, everything is within this general spacious awareness. So we're like fish in an ocean of awareness. However, we don't think of it as a tremendous benefit because what we're then keenly aware of is the intrusive and persistent and repetitive nature of our thoughts. Prior to sitting, I think there is an identification of awareness and thinking. So, as it were, awareness is the thought's awareness of itself or of other thoughts. When we're confronted with the persistence of our thoughts in practice, the temptation is either to try and somehow defeat those thoughts through thinking, to kind of will away our thoughts, or it's somehow to go as far as possible from the location of those thoughts, the imaginary space of the mind, and the kind of imaginary space of the brain, and to go as far away from that to something else. So our breath, our wider environment, whatever. However, what I think is very helpful for us to do in practice is to give specific awareness to what we can feel in our head. So I don't think it's any accident that one of the preliminary Vipassana practices is to be aware of the breath coming in our nostrils. So that's obviously one thing that we can be aware of. We can be aware of patterns of tension that we're holding in our forehead. We can be aware of our teeth, the presence of our tongue in our mouth, the tension or the spaciousness at the back of our head. All of these kind of things. And what you'll notice, if you pay careful attention, is that it's impossible for a thought and an awareness of something sensate to exist at exactly the same time. You have to pay careful attention because quite often we flip between the two, but you'll find that they cannot coexist in the same way as ghosts cannot be manifested in sunlight. That's not to say that the thought becomes a vacuity, but rather it's experienced as something energetic, like a kind of noise, but something which is embodied. And so in this way, we don't continue to identify the mind and with the brain and the head with the mind, but rather we, how can you say, we reconcile the mind with the head, and we allow that reconciliation to just extend throughout our body, and that way we resolve the mind-body dualism.